Gotta love it when people cheat, use their unmet needs as a permission slip to cheat. It's completely wrong, and I fully agree with this woman. Well, I'm a firm believer you should show up in your relationships with your best foot forward. You should do your best to meet your partner's needs at all moments. You should ask them how, like, check in with them constantly. It's something that needs to go both ways, and both people need to be happy. But when people say, oh, I had needs, so therefore this happened, it's like, that's not a valid. There's other ways. If your needs are not being met in a relationship long term and you are extremely unhappy, there are other options. There are conversations you can have. There are boundaries you can set. You can go to counseling. You can do this. You can do that. You can bring up other, like, depending on what your needs are, you can bring up compromises. You need to exhaust all of those options. And heck, if you want, you could even jump to leaving the relationship. Well, I don't think that's always the best way to go. Communication's important, and you don't need to potentially end, a relationship that could be decent before communicating. But again, cheating should not even be on your list of ways to fix the problem. And also, one thing with needs is, I kind of hate this one, but sometimes you can adjust your expectations. And while that one's not ideal because you end up giving up what you want, for some relationships that might be necessary with certain things. Obviously, it depends on what the need is. If you need your partner to be nice to you, they should be able to be nice to you. If they can't, you're not a good fit. And in some cases, people don't realize that your partner can't give you everything. You can't expect your partner to be a therapist, a chef, a moneymaker. Like, you can't expect every single thing. People are good and bad at some things, and you got to be reasonable with what you expect. But sometimes you can outsource those things. If you hate that your woman does not, maybe she sucks at cleaning the bathroom. Like, she can't do it right. Like, you could outsource that. Maybe you guys could have a cleaner come by once a week or whatever and do that part. Maybe if he can't do all the maintenance, maybe plumbing's not his thing, you hire a plumber. There are things you can outsource. Obviously, intimacy is not something you can really outsource without it being an open relationship or potentially cheating. So that's one thing that you need to figure out a happy compromise if that's a need that's not being met. And that is a valid need. And I hate that there's thousands of videos of women saying, oh, it's not a need. Yes, it is. And it's a valid one. Also, I've noticed that a lot of people are afraid to leave. People who cheat, they're too scared to have that conversation. Hey, I'm breaking up with you. Hey, I'd like a divorce. Like, they're chickens. They don't want to have those conversations. So instead they cheat to get you to break up with them. I've seen this play out a few times. I've actually personally experienced it myself. And it's actually more painful. It's kind of like, okay, how long were you feeling this way? How long did you want the relationship to end secretly, but you didn't say it? Now, how do people justify cheating to themselves? Because if you think about it, cheating's an awful thing to do. People don't actually go around and be like, oh, hey, I cheated on so-and-so. Yeah, most people aren't proud of it, and rightfully so. But I'm going to go over some of the ways people justify it. So the need one is convenient. I wasn't happy as another one. A self-justification loop. Well, I wouldn't have cheated if so-and-so hadn't done this, or if they actually did this. Like, that makes you the problem instead of them. And what I hate about this is it hurts bad enough to have someone cheat on you, but to also feel like it's somehow your fault, that's like self-esteem eroding right there. Just know if someone paints this, they can't handle being the bad guy. They can't handle taking accountability. So they have to put it on you. But it's not on you. Because as soon as they flip the script, they become a victim reacting to what you did. And being a victim in those situations feel better than being the villain. So keep that in mind, that you're not the problem, it's them, and they cannot handle it. Also, sometimes when you're cheating, you can't walk around and say, I'm a loyal person. That creates cognitive dissonance. So they have to downplay what they're doing. Oh, it's not really cheating, it's online. Oh, it's not really cheating, I didn't actually touch him. I just talked to him. But that still can be cheating, depending on the expectations you guys have in your relationship. Or they exaggerate your faults. Well, they're not perfect either. They do so blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm justified in cheating because of that. No, That's not how it works either. But again, see how they're repainting it in a different light? And once you really get the hang of this, you'll notice that people, whenever they do you wrong, they'll do this. Next, some people, they don't realize they're delaying the consequences. So they'll do whatever they want now, what feels comfortable in the moment, not realizing that down the road, they're burning themselves. And then down the road, when they actually face consequences, again, they'll make themselves the victim. Oh, feel sorry for me because I'm going through this and this. Well, maybe if you didn't cheat, you wouldn't be going through all this. You caused this. And yet they don't take accountability. If you think about it, cheating is rarely just like a one-time event. It just happens. And yes, it does happen like that sometimes, but most of the time it's like gradual. Okay, she gave her phone number to somebody. Okay, that's sketch. Maybe it's not considered cheating yet, but that's still kind of one of those gray areas where it's like, okay, you're kind of heading in that direction. They start messaging each other. Every single text that she sends, she could have been like, okay, I'm getting into, bad space here. I need to stop. She could have stopped at any time. And then even when they start to get intimate, maybe flirty text or even in person, at any point, she could have stopped. Her shirt starts to come off or, they kiss and she's like, oh, yeah, this is not okay. I need to stop. But they can just keep going. So cheating is never one decision. It's usually like 30 decisions that she could have stopped at any time. And I'm saying she because the majority of people that watch my videos are men. So if you're a woman watching this also includes maybe a man that maybe have cheated on you as well. Also, for a lot of cheaters, especially the ones that do it a lot, they have this entitlement to it. I deserve this. I deserve better. And it's like, okay, then break up with your person and go get better if you feel like you deserve better. But some of those, it's like this weird mindset that they have. They feel like they can get better, but they also deep down know they can't. Like they cannot pull what they think they deserve, kind of thing. So instead they cheat. Also, the difference between cheaters and non-cheaters is loyal people can tend to sit in discomfort longer. If you're in a long-term relationship, you're going to have issues sometimes. It's not going to be butterflies and rainbows 24/7. You're going to have to bring up hard conversations. You're going to have arguments. You're going to have to be uncomfortable. So if someone cannot tolerate discomfort whatsoever, they're probably going to be more likely to cheat. Also, sometimes temptation is there. It happens. It's not cute. It's not ideal, but it happens. Sometimes there's a little temptation. You see someone really attractive and you're like, okay. I see that person. I shouldn't see that person, but I do. But again, loyal people choose integrity over doing something like that because they don't want to become a person that they despise. But yes, unmet needs do matter. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It does, and it can break a relationship over time. So if you are in a relationship and your partner is bringing up the same thing every now and then, no matter what it is, even if it seems stupid to you or insignificant, take it seriously. Don't be afraid to check it. What I've noticed is sometimes if you cannot meet that person's needs often for whatever reason, checking in with them and seeing how they're doing anyways can really help. Hey, I know I haven't been doing blank. Are you still doing okay? Can we talk about this? What can I do better? Is there a happy compromise somewhere? Can we hire outside help? Whatever it is, like checking in with them can really help. Because I know sometimes, maybe you're with someone you're like 90% compatible with, but there's one area in your relationship where it's like, it's just kind of hard. Like you just can't meet their needs very well. At that point, you just discuss it. This is kind of a stupid example probably, but like, I like the fridge organized a specific way. So when we get groceries or I get groceries, I put them away. My husband doesn't. And I know, like, there's moments he puts them away, and that's fine. Sometimes I do rearrange it at some point, but I don't get mad at him. It's just, I know it's just kind of one of those silly habits I have where I know I'm going to get upset I'm going to get irritated if the fridge is not organized a specific way. Because my biggest pet peeve is like expired or rotten food in the fridge, so I keep it organized in a way where it's like I know where all the food is that's going to expire first kind of thing. But yeah, it's like little things like that can make a big difference where you just accept that your partner's not going to be able to read your mind and you're like, okay, we're going to make this work anyways. And I think more people need to come at it from acceptance whenever possible because, again, you're dealing with a completely different person outside yourself and they're not going to be exactly the same as you.